Let's start about a couple of the names that are currently being floated for the Biden cabinet. And first off, number one with a bullet, we got to talk about, by God, is that Neera Tanden's music? Why, yes, it is. Percocet, Molly Percocet. Hey, is that the proposed nominee for the Office of Budget and Management? Is she geeking? Bitch, she might be. Bitch, she might be. That's right. Bitch, I'm geeked up. It's Neera Tanden, our old friend. And, it may be 4 years too late, but all of her tweets and all the battles that she's fought in the trenches of Twitter are being rewarded. They're pinning that medal on her Office of Budget and Management. What is it? OBM, something like that?
Yeah, OBM.
OBGYM.
Or OMB,
yeah, old dirty management.
That's Neera, our old friend. Well, here's the thing though. I've read some speculation that the Biden team putting Neera's name out there for nomination, because this does require her to be confirmed, right? And
yes.
I've read speculation.
Is there a drug test? Because I feel like she might run into trouble there.
She has to be confirmed, but as a Catholic.
No, I mean, I've heard speculation that that she may be sort of a Judas goat to sort of trot out there to have everyone whack her down, so that the next person that they nominate, who's the guy they really want,
she would so deserve that.
Will be just sort of sail in there like someone probably worse than her, because the funny thing is that I really think for the top levels of the Democratic Party, they probably think nominating someone like Neera Tanden is like a sop to their liberal or progressive base.
Hey, it's progress. You like that shit? You fucking assholes love progress?
She ran the Center for American Progress.
She made all the progress.
It's
what are
in
you
the
people
name.
complaining about?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I also I want a moment with Dirtbag Neera, like the Stacey Abrams moment when she thought she was going to get the rose.
Yeah.
You kind of saw it on her face when she realized she wasn't going to be his vice pick. I want to see public disappointment on Neera's face.
I just want to see her at a confirmation hearing on TV with some troglodytic Southern senator going, "Now, Miss Tanden, I have here for some of your tweets now. We're going to go through some of these today. Now, you are in yourself a Twitter thread war with a fellow named Big Dick Barrier here, in which you tweeted a picture of a gun at him. Now, man, Miss Tanden, what is this supposed to mean?"
Yeah, and she would have to defend it on the grounds that she was at war. She was, terrible things happened in the Twitter trenches. And you don't know because you weren't there.
This committee calls Matt Brudig to the stand.
I'm imagining Elizabeth Warren doing a face turn, because she didn't get Treasury Secretary, or she didn't get the glad hand.
Oh,
she got the high hat, and she's going to use the confirmation hearing to make a face turn. And she's like, "I'm mad, Miss Tanden. The American people are mad. This tweet was sent at 4:30 in the morning. What were you doing? You're supposed to be taking care of the people's business, the progress. These are 100 tweets sent between the hours of 2 a.m. and 5:30.
But she's a soldier. She never sleeps. She should be awarded an award. She should get the purple drank heart or something. They're going to start recognizing people's
the purple drank heart.
They're going to start recognizing people's online wars as credentials. So you might as well you have to put in somewhere, and they're not policy. They might as well be recognized as military.
Yeah, give everybody
it
challenge coins for how many posts they do.
Was it? I think Sam Cedar tweeted about this the other day. He pointed out that
since Trump became president, or it was since he joined Twitter. Yeah, since he joined Twitter.
Since he joined Twitter
a year after she did.
Okay, so yeah, Trump joined a year after Neera did, and since then he has tweeted something like 56,000 times, and in the same amount of time, Neera has tweeted over 86,000 times.
Neera, honey, you need to log off. You're too online. She is. It's wonderful, but she's in it for the
It makes sense. Neither of them have a real job.
Yeah. That's
What
true.
is she? What is she? What is the tweeting keeping her away from?
Yeah, good point. Yeah, firing people at Think Progress and inadvertently outing a sexual harassment victim who worked for her. Well, I mean, we've talked about Neera quite a bit on the show. I mean, we're big fans of her. She's big fans of ours. But like
She was one of our first subscribers.
yeah.
Yeah.
One of the cool things about Neera, though, is that, like, in her career, and by her career, I mean, the shit she posts on Twitter. I mean, there are deep cuts there that even we haven't touched on. So let's take this opportunity now to just like run through a couple clips of Neera's greatest hits, and because these are getting circulated now, in advance of a potential confirmation hearing, or just as people, gab about, who is the next ODB. So let's cue up that first clip and take a listen to what some of the things Neera has said or advocated for in the past.
There are steps we can take to build on the Affordable Care Act to meet the goal of ensuring health care for every American. And there has been important steps on costs, on savings and costs, but there are other steps we can take, which is what the language in the platform has today. But I want to say that I would like to offer language acknowledging that Democrats all agree that health care is a right and that it's not a privilege, that it is something that every American should have, every person should have. I completely agree that this has been a right that we have fought for, presidents have fought for year in and year out. And it is a true accomplishment. And I acknowledge the voices that we heard from.
She acknowledges the
concerned
voices
about the current system. But I also, I do have to add the voices that I know we all care about.
Let's acknowledge some other voices.
Who are alive
let's get the
today
voices going in the chat.
because of the Affordable Care Act. But I say that recognizing that I assume most people in this room support the Affordable Care Act, was a proud accomplishment. And my view of this is that we should not accept the status quo, that we should, all of us, work together to actually pass a public option, ensure there's an option of people to buy into Medicare, steps we can take to improve upon the Affordable Care Act, to reach our shared goal of universal health care and health care as a right for every person in the country.
She sounds like she's talking to an Uber driver on coke.
This is no, not on coke. She's drunk. She's the Cecily Strong girl you wish you hadn't started a conversation with at a party character. This is just disgrace. It's disgrace.
This is great. I just want to talk about our shared goals.
I just want to uplift the voices.
There's
Make a left here.
There's voices, and then there are other voices, and it's like are you even like listening to the other voices? Are you even listening?
Can we go to White Castle?
No.
Can we go to the drive-thru? I'll give you $5. Give it cash. I can't put any more on this.
You can have some. You can have some of my White Castle. You can. It's fine. I won't tell.
It's a sack of 10.
So nice.
I'm gonna have.
You're so nice.
You can have it too.
Where's Yemen? Where's Yemen? Is that where you? What's that like? Yeah.
I know a guy from there.
Just some context for that clip. That clip was from 2016 at the Democratic National Convention. That was during the the sort of ratifying the platform for the Democratic Party.
The platform committee.
Yeah, the platform committee. This was her. I know she was saying that we all agree that healthcare is a right and not a privilege, but this was her speaking in the context of her voting down a measure to adopt Medicare for all
Yeah.
as the official standard for the Democratic Party in 2016. And another aspect of that clip that doesn't come across in audio is that she is saying everything sitting directly next to Cornel West.
He was
throughout the
looking
thing.
at her.
Okay, his face is firmly planted in his hands. Like you can barely see. You have to look closely because he is hiding. He is hiding his face.
He's
And
listening to the voices. What are you talking about? What is your problem?
over the course of the video, he's literally inching away from her until he's out of frame by the end of it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not too long before the vomit is coming. So you got to make some space.
Who is she? The Japanese prime minister?
Oh.
No, that was George W.
George
George H.
Senior.
W. is the one who puked.
Oh, no, I meant she was the Japanese prime minister, and Cornell was going to vomit on.
Oh, see, I was just
Yeah, no, I think she's the
okay.
puker. She's the puker.
Okay.
Because she's,
Yeah.
I mean, here's another aspect to this confirmation thing. I mean, when Bernie has to is he gonna vote to confirm her? Probably. And don't you think that that's kind of the point of nominating her? Is this is their bend the knee moment? This is their real payback.
Well, the thing is that apparently some people are saying that the thought process here is that she is a sop to the left because she isn't the guy who was floated last week, Bruce Reed.
Yeah,
was
no, I
like
see.
a
That's what I'm saying. I think they
deficit
want
jihadist.
Bruce Reed. I think they really
No, they
want
don't. It
Bruce
doesn't
Reed.
matter.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. None of it matters. None of the appointments actually matter from a position of what we're getting. We're getting what they're told us we're going to get. All of who versus who, it's a question of things like, who do you want to sacrifice to the Judiciary Committee? And also, who do you want to troll people with? And I got to say, Neera is a
good
great
troll.
troll move one way or the other. And
It's
also,
a
the
good
funny
troll.
thing is the guy that she might have taken this from, Bruce Reed, is the guy that she famously roped into her fake
The Notes app
screenshot
email.
of a non-existent Notes app email about how she didn't work on welfare reform in the Clinton White House. It's all it's a circle eating its own tail. It's going to be the most online administration maybe ever if this is any indication.
I mean, to your point, Matt. I mean, I've seen the sort of catchphrase about these Biden, the people who are being floated for cabinet positions is, this is Biden declaring war on the left.
Yeah.
And it's no, that war was fought and won by them 7 months ago. There's no more war happening here. It's over.
Yeah, there's an end zone dance.
I think
Yeah.
he just wants to be surrounded by pretty nurses in his later years. I mean, there's that lady Cecilia. What was it? Cecilia Rouse, who is 57 years old and looks like Black Christy Turlington.
That is also Toni Morrison's daughter-in-law.
Really?
Yes, and I saw the
She
pictures. She's a fox.
She is gorgeous.
Yeah.
She is, I mean, an inspiration. I'm sure she's evil, but I gotta say, I'm incredibly impressed.
Yeah.
And that's just my theory is that he's just stacking it with the prettiest nurses.
It's like Charlie's Angels. He's
Joe
Charlie.
Biden. Joe Biden, his second inaugural address. I think Neera Tanden's stealing from my dresser. somebody watch her. Don't leave me alone here.
All right, let's see that second Neera cut.
Candidates were these governors. And I think that there's other, there are progressive governors like O'Malley and Cuomo who've taken a much more balanced approach on budgets where they've looked at taxes as well as reforming programs and cutting programs. And so I think that's the approach the American people are supporting.
There's a viewer here who wants you to take us deeper into entitlements by Twitter. Ms. Tanden, do you know what the president means when he says entitlements are on the table? Any specifics and anything you would endorse?
Yeah, I mean, so there are a range of entitlements that, I think when we're talking about entitlements, we're talking about Medicare, Social Security, Medicaid. These are programs that people receive support because of the status that they have. So when after 65, you get funding from Social Security and Medicare. Actually, it's getting older for Social Security, but.
Social Security.
And, the president has $300 billion in his budget in cuts in Medicare. That comes on top of cuts in Medicare from the Affordable Care Act. So he has put specific cuts in the budget already in Medicare. And
Alrighty,
they've had
did it
savings
already.
in Medicaid in the past. I think the question really is, if we're going to have a deal to address long-term deficit reduction, we need to put both entitlements on the table as well as taxes. It's unfair to ask only middle-class Americans to bear the burden of our deficits. Middle-class Americans actually didn't create the deficits. So I think the challenge is that we should have entitlements on the entitlements, and the Center for American Progress has put forth ideas and proposals to reform the beneficiary structure of Social Security. Some of our progressive allies aren't as excited about that as we are, but we've put those ideas on the table. But we think that those are legitimate ideas that need to be put part of a proposal.
When she just says,
where
some of
everyone's
our
at the
progressive
table.
allies aren't as excited about this as we are at the Center for American Progress.
I'm
Meaning,
looking at you, Jessica. Everything just feels very personal. Like she's giving an address to like a small group of people. Like she is drunk, leading a meeting at a sorority. I can't get over the slurring. I just can't do it. I know that's probably just how she talks, but in my head, it's
combined with the tweeting and the content of the tweets. It's a gestalt that can't be ignored.
The cadence and the rambling of it. I mean, like I ramble, but I'm on a fucking podcast. I don't work for an organization that's advocating for policies. So I keep thinking she's about to go off and be like, you're just fucking entitled. Like, it's just it's Scott's fucking entitled, okay? And middle class Americans didn't do this, okay? And some of our progressive allies aren't happy with that, Jessica. I fucking see you, Jessica.
Amber, like the tone of that is like she pulled the C-SPAN caller into like the cool girls' bathroom at the high school.
It's insane.
And then she's like, listen, you bitch.
Yeah.
And so apparently she is in the process now of deleting tweets that she had had put out about members of the Senate committee that are going to be talking to her.
Ooh, the coward's way out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Never
learn
deleted
from Kyle
tweet.
Kalinske. Come on.
Yeah, like Kyle Kalinske, that's the fucking, that is strong
That's the
alpha mindset.
the only
That is-
alpha
that is the-
strong move.
Yeah, I respect him so much, and like he's playing for keeping those tweets up, and he's like playing along with the bit. Like he is that is strong. Fucking that is the poster's way. That is the path of the posting warrior.
Yeah.
I'm convinced he somehow planted all of those, and it's just an ARG
It is a very,
that he
it's a very good
scripted.
brand builder for him because like every 3 weeks somebody starts tweeting him and he's just like, "Yep, I was on a lot of Percocet."
Now, Mrs. Tanden, I'm just a simple country lawyer, but on the date of January 21st, 2006, it seems to see. Would you remind the people, and I remind you that you're under oath, who exactly is hungry at this moment?
I would actually be amazing, like seeing her cross-examine, because she was just, why are you yelling at me?
All right, I think we got two more Neera clips. So let's see where this next one's going.
Mr. Prime Minister, Mrs. Netanyahu,
Yep, there we go.
welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. And I hope you'll ask me questions on all of these things and anything else that you want. I just wanted to get I wanted to get my commercial in so you understand how great an investment Israel is. Remember the joke? How do you make a big fortune, a small fortune in Israel? Start with a big fortune.
When did Felix speak here, Tanden?
Apparently they have not heard.
No, it's the people who do
Felix
that are
has much better anti-Semitic
deconfliction.
jokes than BB.
Washington produces amazing things. We don't care.
I mean, that's just Neera laughing at Netanyahu's his jokes.
To be funny, to be fair, he is pretty funny.
You're so
Conversation
funny.
fertilizes thought.
He's
You're like
very good.
really
He's very
funny.
That was our theory here.
Conversation. But I have something to declare. I have a sore throat.
She's like, I have some cough medicine that might help that out.
Oh,
So there you go. All right, just go to the last one now.
So a lot of the conversations that seem to take place about the on-demand economy, or whatever we want to call it, seem to be binary. On one side, you've got contractors. On the other side, you have employees. Is there an opportunity in the middle there?
There is. I mean, we have to just to step back for a moment. The United States has a unique position here because we run most of our benefits that protect people from economic risks through employment, and that's why it's such a on-off switch. So if you're an employee, you usually get health care benefits, some retirement benefits, unemployment insurance, and if you're an independent contractor, you get nothing. So we were trying to think through how to reimagine employment law for the 21st century so that there may be a third option, a third
what?
way.
A third way.
Damn,
no one ever
girl.
thought of that before.
You just think of that.
Keeps incentives for employers to keep employees where it makes sense, and also we want to have some ability for independent contractors.
Employers
they
to
do
be able to
provide that
treat
ability to be an
employees
independent
like
contractor
garbage,
does create
but
some
not like
flexibility
really
in the
gross
economic
garbage.
system. So,
Like the
I don't
recycling.
think there's a lot of thinking
like
in this
recycling,
space. We haven't
not like-
figured out the
not like
right answer
food
yet, but
scraps. That's gross.
some option that allows people to have some benefits. And sometimes
How
it might
generous.
Employees
be
can have a little
model
benefit
like
as
what
a
we see
treat.
where the state offers health insurance through the Affordable Care Act. You know, someplace I do think business, government, and workers are going to have to kind of figure this out, come together.
Yeah, you mean
Come together.
figure it out. That thing.
We're just gonna have to kind of
we're like
figure it
the
out.
two classes sort of
Yeah.
battle over resources.
So there we go. That was from- that was from-
This is Cher Horowitz talking about the Haitian refugee crisis.
Yeah, it's like we got these people here who have no leverage and want to be able to survive as employees, and then we've got these other people who own the means of production and really just kind of want to make them just as immiserators as possible. They're going to have to figure that out somehow. I don't know what the government's job in that really is.
Yeah. We're gonna do like trust falls. Okay.
I think the interesting thing about all four of those clips, though, is that they were all before the Trump administration. And this was like all at a time when, like, her and the Center for American Progress are very much in ascendance. And like the thing about, think tanks is that, they're there to create the agenda for the next administration. And we've had like now a 4-year pause on all that. But now, like, they just get to hit play. Like, they've been edging from now. It's hit and play, and it's like a good preview of things to come. And like Matt said, like none of these people matter whether they get confirmed or not, or who they are, or who gets nominated, or whatever. Like, it won't change a single thing. And I think it's telling there, especially in that last clip, how are we going to handle this gig economy thing? How are we going to handle the fact that America, is the only advanced country in the world in which like all these things like health insurance and things like that are tied to employment? And the answer is, the third way they're going to do, what she's talking about, I would imagine, is like we've talked about before, Prop 22 as like a piece of like a federal Prop 22 that covers all 50 states, and then just sort of patch in those gaps with the ACA, with Obamacare. Like that's the solution. That's what they're going to figure out.
Direct government subsidy of health insurance providers. And then people getting insurance that they can't actually use because it's too much. It costs too much.
So there we go. That's Neera for the OMB. We wish her all the best in the future.
It's going to be great.
I hope she does. I hope she does
be
get
content
confirmed.
coming out of it, and that's all I care about. Let it flow.
I mean, I hope she does get confirmed. And it's just like, as far as the left is concerned, I don't really see the point in kicking up a big fuss about any of these people, because it's like we had that opportunity 7 or 8 months ago.
Yeah,
it failed. So at this point, like what is making an outrage out of like each new feature of the Biden administration? I mean, it's fun, you can talk about it. It's fun to point out, and like I said, it's good just as comedy, but like as some sort of like political protest, it's like there's no avenue through which your protest of this means anything.
Yeah,
other than
there's no
just
pushing anybody
it's just like,
anywhere.
If you want to
You
register,
have to learn to dissociate at some point, or you will die of rage, especially when the exact thing that was definitely going to happen happens exactly the way it was going to happen.
And if you want to register your anger or your discontent at these betrayals or these slaps in the face, then you shouldn't have voted for Joe Biden in the first place. Because what leverage are you really bringing to the table here? You know what I'm saying? That was your opportunity to make a protest, was not vote for Joe Biden.
And even then, you wouldn't have been able to do anything. You wouldn't have been able to do anything anyway. I mean, there's no way to coordinate any group of people along that strategy of saying we're going to withhold. No, who's we? There's no we.
Yeah.
There's no we to do anything.
Yes.
So,
just, you know what? I think politically speaking, this is the only advice I will give. Let's start working on a we.
We need a we before you could do anything else.
Because otherwise we're all just screaming online.
Yeah, a lot of people kind of get baffled when they see things that just keep getting worse because we don't want it. But it's like, well, the we isn't an articulated concept. It's kind of just an assumption based on, what we see around us as some sort of collective group of people with opinions. But unless there's a coordination of those opinions towards an end, it can't come to anything.
Let's get Wii's. Let's get PS5s too.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Let's all play online with each other.
Oh my God, Wii bowling. So fun.
But it is a lot of fun. The tennis also.